Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to Project Peter. This is day 2 of the repair. Today we're going to see if we can get this front finished, get that chassis leg moved upwards, get the bumper off, compare the two sides, etc, etc, etc. Let's do it, let's get on with it, let's start. Before I actually start, I just wanted to tell you about something that I bought from AliExpress. So I was just having a little flick through, scrolling through as you do, and I come across some t-shirts and I thought, oh, that would be a good idea. They were personalised t-shirts. They got like spanners and stuff all over the front, and you can personalise it on the front and on the back. So I thought, let's order one. So I ordered one and I looked around for somewhere that you could send them a message. Couldn't see anything, so I thought, I guess they'll probably contact me to find out what I want on it. The next thing I know, about a week and a half later, it comes in the post. So this is the t-shirt. So as you can see, it's got spanners and stuff all over it. It's huge. I bought a 2XL because the last one I bought, t-shirt I bought from there, or polo shirt, was miles too small as an extra large. So it wasn't me being massive, it was the t-shirt being small, so I thought I'd buy a 2XL. It's funny material, it's almost like, I don't know what it is, but it's not like cotton. It's like a stretchy nylon, and it's huge. But of course, it's meant to be personalised. When I opened it up, name here, and on the other side, it's got it as well, on the back. Oh dear, name here. So I thought, what a load of it was £5 and 2 pence, including postage. But it's absolutely useless. So I messaged them and said this was meant to be personalised. I've received it and it's got name here on it. They instantly gave me my money back, so it's going in the bin. The only reason it's not in the bin is because I wanted to show you before I threw it in the bin. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you about that. So if you happen to see these t-shirts that are personalised, or anything else that's personalised on AliExpress, make sure you get what you think you're getting. Anyway, let's get on with the car. Right, okay, going to make a start on this. So as you saw just now, the headlight is all done, ready to go. So I need to get the bumper off, wheel off, bumper off, and sort out that leg, which should be easy to do once I can compare it to the other side. So I'm just going to get the wheel off, get it up in the air, and then we'll come back and we'll make a start. Right, okay, so we're up on an axle stand. Just need to figure out how to get the bumper off now, which I'm sure it's pretty similar. I'm assuming we have to undo that. There's not any there. There's one each end. I don't know whether this thing has to come off as well, although this is screwed to that. So I'm going to try taking those out first. It's just a little star bolt, and then I'm sure we'll have the normal sort of thing around here. We've got to repair this as well. Don't forget, and probably the ones underneath. I guess it's the same. Once we've done that, of course, we can look at that. I reckon that's got to come right out. Which pushing it up and pushing it out at the same time, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll get to that later. Let's get this bumper off first. Let's do it. Off. Much heavier than the old, the little one. Much heavier than the little 500. As you could see, it ended up falling on its face because I had one screw that I'd missed. Now those, the underneath ones, there are no screws on it. All there are the little push pin things. But because that's grounded out at some point, it's taken the top off of the Phillips head. So I had to prise it out. Luckily, I got a load of those. I bought some from AliExpress. This has clearly been off before. I'm assuming it doesn't come out the factory wrapped in duct tape, which is what I do, but I do it all the way around to make it a bit more secure. So we'll do that. So yeah, it's clearly been off at some point in its life. Who knows what for? I wonder if you have to take the bottom bar off to do the chassis, to do the bottom arms like you do on the little 500. I bet you do. Can't really see from here, but I bet you do. Right, so we can get a better look at this one here now, of course, which has got, as we know, has got a push out and push up. But this is as it should be, I believe. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the headlight out, the other headlight, obviously, state the obvious, Paul, which of course, as we know, is undamaged, no tabs broken or anything like that. And then we can have a look at the leg underneath and compare the two of them. So let me just take that out and then we'll have a look. As we can see, this is all in a straight line here. And over here, it's not. So that needs to be horizontal. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the portapower, and if I can, I'm not sure if I can, I'm going to get it in here. I'm not sure if it's too long to get in there. And I'm going to push off of there. I think it might be too long, and pull that piece out straight first, and then I can get the portapower underneath and push that piece up. So it's relatively easy to do. And then what we can do is we can offer the wing up once we've done it, and then make sure we get it in the right place. Because as I said before, if you can see, that's where the wing bolt's on. I'm just trying to think what that's for. I think that must be, that's where the light, that's where the light screws in, isn't it? So that'll be the telltale sign as to whether it's in the right place when you try and put the light back in, as to whether that's lined up. And of course for the wing, but more so for the light, because the light is, you know, the wing can move, whereas the light, it has to be in a completely fixed position. Not really any adjustment for that. So that'll be the telltale sign. So it'll be a lot of to-ing and fro-ing, I think, to get it in the right place. But for those of you who haven't seen the portapower in use, I've only used it a couple of times, and although it's, you know, not used often, when it is needed, it is a godsend for things like this. I've used it to push out the rear panel in a boot. I've used it on a sill. It's a good bit of kit. I've also got the pulling kit for it, but I still haven't got a ground anchor. I need to get a ground anchor somewhere. I did buy one, which is over on the worktop somewhere, but I've never got around to putting it in the ground. And I'm not sure whether it would be sufficient anyway, to be honest. Don't want to pull off the house, really. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can get the portapower in there, and we'll have a go. So I'll get it out, and I'll say I think it's too big to get into there. I don't think the minimum size it goes is small enough, but we'll get it out and have a look and see what we can do. But I'm going to film all that anyway, so let's get it all out, set up, ready to go, and then we'll come back. Picked up what I was doing there. It's gone pretty successfully, actually. What I didn't realise, which I should have done, is that of course this bracket, the same as it is on the little 500, is a bolt on. So I released it at the front, and then there is an element of adjustment to it as well, a bit like the other ones. So I am going to well, you can see what I've done. That is straight as near as damn it now. So hopefully that should be okay. So I'm just trying to think what goes in that bolt hole there. Is that the wing? Oh no, it's that. Sorry, it's the other bolt for that, isn't it? So yeah, so that will go in there. It will allow a little bit of movement. So I straightened that with a portapower, as you saw, pushing it out. I pushed up from the ground, straightened that up. So yeah, it's done the trick. That's really good. I'm really pleased with that. That at an angle. That is how it is. It's meant to be. So it's not touched that. It's literally just this piece, which I've now got straight. There is a, you see it sort of little tilt down to the outside. If you can see there, if you can see in there, you can see that's the same. So that's how it's meant to be. It's just this piece and this piece that are straight. So that's it. That should do it, hopefully. So if I put that bracket back on, I'll stick the other headlight back in, and then we'll offer this headlight up, see how it fits. And then we should hopefully be able to, actually no, wing first, get the wing on first this side, offer that up, see how that goes on. And then hopefully it should be plain sailing after. Once the wing's on, of course the headlight bolts into the wing, doesn't it? So yeah, so hopefully that should work. They are quite tight fit, these lights, I have to say. There is a bit somewhere, and I don't know where it was, can't think. There was like a little tab. There's one there where you've got a little locator tab, but there was one here somewhere as well, and I can't figure out where it was. And it actually snapped off. I think it might be there. I don't know. There is. I can't actually see a hole for it, but there was a tab, and it sunk in somewhere. And I didn't realise, and it went pop and went off. I don't think it matters, but it's just a locator tab, isn't it? At the end of the day. But yeah, that's yeah, pleased with it so far. Okay, so that is in the right place now. If we look down here, these are lined up. That one's lined up. That's great. That one was lined up down there as well. So yeah, it's all in the right place. So it's all bent back into shape correctly, nice and straight. Yeah, great stuff. It seems to have all gone back in nicely. The tester, of course, is when you get the bumper on. But yeah, so far so good. It all fits in nicely. Yeah, should be good. Should be all lining up nicely, hopefully. The only thing that I do need to do is, as you know, you've got this bolt that slips in under here, because that's a bit loose there, and it needs just sort of pushing and holding in. And there's that, if you remember, there's that bolt that you sort of slide it underneath the washer, but then you can't get to it. So I'm hoping that this rubber piece comes. I don't want to have to take the old scuttle panel off if I can help it. Hopefully that rubber piece will allow me to get a ring spanner in there and do that up, and then that will hold that in place. But apart from that, it all lines up nice. Yeah, well pleased so far. Right, I think the next thing we're going to do, I'm not going to bother filming it, but I'm just going to take that DRL off. Actually, I need to put this portapower away, because I know I keep stepping over it all. Yeah, see that bracket's broken there, so I just need to reconnect that. I'll have a go at doing that as well if I can, and then we'll offer this up and put this back. So the damage on here, I think I'm going to do that once it's back on. I know I could do it now, but I want to get it all back on, so it's not going to hurt once it's on, providing it all lines up nicely. There's no reason that it needs to come back off again. So yeah, I just want to get it back on, and then we'll get those bits of painting done afterwards. There's no massive rush to get those done. What I would like to do is, obviously I've got to get the arch liner back on. I'll do that once I've got the bumper on, obviously. I'd like to get it booked in for an MOT. Need to get the tyres sorted out, of course. Oh, this was the other one. We didn't see this one. This was the one I didn't take off. So yeah, pretty much the same as the other one, knackered both sides. Unbelievable. I can't believe someone has done this. I'm just thinking, I've only got one set of axle stands. I'm just wondering whether to get myself another set of axle stands. I could do with another set of axle stands, and get the entire car up in the air, take the four wheels off and take them to the tyre shop. I think that might be better, because I don't want to imagine taking it down to get tyres and getting pulled over by the police, and I've got four bald tyres. That wouldn't be good, would it? So yeah, it might be yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll get myself some cheap ones ordered. We'll get it up. I mean, I suppose I could leave it up on the jack, couldn't I, really? But yeah, no, to be on the safe side, I'll get some axle stands and get it up on the back as well. And then we'll take these four wheels down, and get some tyres on them. Yeah, and then once we've done that, we can book the MOT. So I'm going to try and do. I'm thinking out loud. You don't need to know this. Anyway, let's get the let's get the light plastic welded, get the bumper repaired, and then we'll come back once we're going to put the bumper back on, see how it fits. Right, I've got the DRL out. Just discovered that there's actually 2 of the bolts, the tabs are broken, so I've got to do those. I also discovered that that's loose as well. So I am going to get the old Tiger seal out, seal that back in. I might put a couple of hot staples in there. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want a chance the hot staples coming through the other side, which is always a possibility. Because it's only thin, isn't it? It's only thin plastic. So yeah, no, I'll just get the old Tiger seal out, leave that will go off in an hour or so, and then that'll be fine, and then we can get it back on. Okay, so it's on. It's all back together. That fits in there nicely. Headlight all fits in nicely. Yeah. Well, the only thing I've got to do is tighten that up. So hopefully I'll just have to take that off. I've got to put those push pins in. I put some new ones in the bottom. I had trouble. Funnily, I don't know if you picked this up on the time lapse, but I had trouble getting it in this side, and I ended up breaking the tab on there, which is, as you can see, I've plastic welded and hot stapled. Now this was nothing wrong with this one, because of that tab in there, and because so basically it was like it was too low here, and I couldn't get this bit of the bumper underneath. Now you have that problem with the little 500 sometimes. And what I discovered, I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not. So remember I said about the little tab. The little tab is at the front. So where on the little 500s you've got a bolt that goes in there, you don't. It's a little locator tab. The actual bolt is here, which is part of this. No, this slides on, and then that sort of slides over it. So the bracket that bolt is on, that little nipple there, which is the locator thing, slides underneath this part of the bumper, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So what I did eventually is once I'd fixed this, I reconnected it down there. I didn't connect it there or there, but it was in the locating tab. It then moved around, and then I was managed to get the then I was able to get the bumper underneath, get the bumper into position, locate it on that tab, and then do these up. That was a bit of a nightmare. Strangely enough, that side seemed to locate exactly as it should have done, and I don't really know why. That needs touching up. Well, obviously don't touching up. I'm going to paint all that on. I'm going to repair that. Yeah, it was a weird one, that, but it's all on now, apart from, as I say, the 2 things underneath. So I've ordered some axle stands. They're going to come tomorrow. So I am at work tomorrow, but I'm off Friday, so I will go down on Friday and get some new tyres. I'll give him a call in the meantime. If he hasn't got any, then he can probably get some for me. So what we've got to do next, I've got to connect I've got to connect this up. This isn't connected. I've connected the DRLs. I need to test it. Let's plug it back in actually. That's it. Yeah, so I've got to test those DRLs, make sure they work. Hopefully they will, and that headlight for that matter as well, because obviously that's a new headlight which I haven't changed any bulbs, so hopefully they're okay. What else? I think we're done on the front now, aren't we, apart from obviously the bodywork bit, but I can do that a little bit later. I'll tell you what we have got to do, which I'm going to have a go at now, or at least to make a start on it, is, no, not up there, this bit. I'm going to try and bend this back with a pair of Stilsons. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm going to give it a go. See how I can do it. Failing that, I'll probably have to get a new bonnet because as I mentioned before on the previous video, I think it would be more expensive to get that fixed and painted than it would be for me to get another bonnet. Don't know, that's what I reckon. But we'll cross that bridge as and when. Let's try and fix it first. So that's the next thing to do. Going to leave the wheels off. There's no point putting those back on. But they do give rain for this afternoon, so I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to get too much done this afternoon. Right, let's set this up and let's see if these DRLs work. And oh, we've got to put the arch, so we can put the arch liner back on now as well, which is nice. Let's do that. Right, I've just got the camera clamped so I can actually do this. No, it is connected. Oh, bloody hell. So if it's connected, why isn't it working? I mean, there's a possibility, I suppose, a fuse is blown. Let's just turn that on. Nothing. Nothing. No. I suppose we'll have to test the connections, won't we? It could be the fuse, couldn't it? I suppose it's possible. Let's put that back in again. Hang on, what's going on with this? Right, that's in, and as you push the thing home, it pushes it all home. Nothing. Oh man, that's annoying. Right, okay. So we need to figure that one out. See why that's not working. I guess we'll check the fuses first. I haven't got a clue which fuse it is. See if we can find out. Right, I am going to have a go at this now. See what I can do with it, if anything. So I've just got, I can't find my Stilson, so I'm using a pair of pliers and I'm going to put a cloth around it. It doesn't really matter if I mark it, because of course it's going to have to be rubbed down and painted anyway, but hopefully I'll be able to do something with this. But what I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to warm it up just to help it bend a bit easier. So I'm just going to warm it up and then we'll hit record again and let's see if we can improve it. You never know. Right. Okay. Sort of doing it, I think. Yeah, I think it's working, you know. I mean, you can still feel it, but it depends on how good I can get it. Let's warm it up a bit more. Right, the top bit seemed to come out quite easy. So I don't mind putting some filler in it. I'm sure I'm going to have to. But it's deceptive where the paint's cracked, really. Yeah, there's a definite low point there. I mean, that's pretty straight now, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon a little bit of filler in there, you know, and I reckon that might do it. There's a couple of little bits where I've either done it a bit too much or not enough, but you can see it's a straight line now, whereas it was bent in before. So that might have helped. It's definitely helped. Whether it's good enough or not, I really don't want to have to replace the bonnet for this, but I reckon, yeah, if I rub this piece down here, it's all right there. If I rub this piece down, get a little bit of, I mean, the paint's chipped off anyway, so it's got to be repainted, this. And I'll try and blend it in up to sort of that point, maybe. Yeah. We'll give that a go, I think. But that looks better already. So it's created a bit of a divot there, which you can't get behind because it's a double skin. There's no way of getting getting in that. So that, I mean, I could get the old welding machine out and pulling it out, but it's so minute, I reckon a thin bit of filler in there would do it. I don't know why I'm protecting it really, because it's got to be rubbed down and painted, isn't it? Regardless. Yeah, that's all right, I think. Right, let me just shut this and see what it looks like. Let's give it a go. That's not too bad. We could do with moving in just a touch, but yeah, that has definitely improved it. I reckon if I can get that filled, painted, I reckon that'd be all right. Yeah, that's not too bad. So when we look at the line at the front, it all looks great. It's really coming along nicely. I'm well pleased with this so far. Looking forward to polishing it actually. I think we are due to get rain today. Obviously I've got to paint that bit as well. So if I can blend that bit in, do that bit, blend it into the body line maybe here, I reckon. Oop, treading on things. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Depends how accurate the colour is. I don't normally have too much trouble with this colour. This is 111A, which is the same as the little 500. The other things I've got to do on here, I've got to get these sticky bits off, bits of tape glue. I've got some stuff to get that off. Hopefully that'll do the trick. It might take a little bit of time messing around with it, but it should come off. Yeah, I reckon I'm going to be able to do that. Coming along, innit? So the next thing I'm going to do, bearing in mind it's probably going to rain this afternoon, I've just got to go down and take an eBay parcel down to the Hermes box. I've got to do that scratch as well. I've got some more scratches. I think they're just marks from the black on there. Because when I was having trouble getting that back in. Yeah, I mean the touching up the paint I think will probably be the last thing. What I'm going to do this afternoon, depending on whether the rain stays away, is I'm going to clean the seats. I cleaned the carpets the other day. Hoovered the carpets I should say. All the black plastics need cleaning. But I think I'm going to do the seats, and then hopefully we'll get some, even if it rains today, we'll get some decent weather over the next few days before Friday, when I'm going to get some tyres for it. And then once we've got the tyres on it and the seats are dry, we could take it for an MOT, although I've got to figure out why the electric windows aren't working. I haven't looked at the fuses yet. I will have a look at the fuses when I get back from the every place. I don't know if there's got a BCM fuse box like the little cars have, or whether it's just the one under the bonnet or not. And I have no idea what one it is. So if it hasn't got the legend on the back of it, I'll Google it and then see if, you never know, it could quite easily be. Because obviously that door was mangled, although none of the electric window fuses or wires or anything were damaged. It was the mirror that was damaged, which ironically works. It might well have done something, I suppose. It might just have blown a fuse. Could be something simple like that. Let's hope it is. Anyway, I'll be back very shortly, and then we'll have a look at the fuses, and then we'll get these seats cleaned if we can, if the rain stays away long enough. Right, we are now going to clean the seats. I just thought about something, and I tried it. I should have filmed it, but I thought to myself, oh, I wonder if the electric window winder works this side. And it does. So it's obviously something that side. So whether it's a fault with the plug, a fault with the switches, I don't know. I'll have to inspect that at a later date. But because the reason I was thinking of it, I thought if I clean these seats, I can't leave the windows open. Oh, I suppose I could have wound the rear ones down a little bit, which I'll do anyway because they're obviously not electric. But yeah, annoying that. Strange one. Could have been something damaged in the accident, because I have got the original loom. So the loom that's in this is the one that was in the new door. So if the loom had got damaged, you would have thought it would have been the loom in the other door, wouldn't you? There's no reason to think that wouldn't be working. So it's possibly the plug, but I'm not going to worry too much about that at the moment. Let's get it clean. Seats, that is. and the door cards. A bit patchy obviously because they're drying. But yeah, they were actually surprisingly dirtier than I thought. I've cleaned the plastics this side, but because I'm a bit close to the wall over the other side, I can't really get in there properly. So yeah, they might need another going over possibly, but what I did notice, especially over that side, was the light grey panels were absolutely filthy, and as I was going over them, they were going all patchy, even when wet. And I went over them multiple times, almost like a scrubbing motion with the wand, and it seems to have done the trick. All nice and clean here. Again, you know, it's patchy because it's drying, but it's drying ever so quick, really, surprisingly. That's all cleaned there. Well, one thing I did notice this the other day, and I'm not going to do anything about it. I reckon someone's done a dump run in here and something shifted, like it's all ripped there. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to leave it. It is what it is. I'm just going to leave it like it. Sorry, did you get a proper look? Something's been in the back, hasn't it? And it's ripped it. So I've had a again, I can't get to the door open properly to be able to have a proper look at that plug, but I'm thinking it might be the plug. But you know, the mirror works, the locking works, it's just the windows that don't work. If it was just this window that didn't work, then I'd say, you know, could be something wrong with the motor. But the fact that the other window works with the switch on the other window but not on this window, yeah, makes me think there's something else wrong, something within the wiring here. So once I've got these the new tyres on and get the wheels back on, I can move it out again. We can get in there properly and have a fiddle, see if we can sort it out. I might have to get a meter on it and see if there's power getting through. Strange one. What else? So you might have noticed that all the stickiness has gone. That came off so easy. I've got this stuff. I bought this stuff some time ago and I've used it a few times. It's really good stuff. Tar and glue remover, G Technique. I think I got it on Amazon. But it comes off so easily. I've got a couple of other different ones, but I thought I'd give that a try. And it's really good. Sort of, I sprayed it on, I left it about 30 seconds and sprayed another bit on, and it literally just lifts straight off. Amazing. And without damaging the paintwork, I hasten to add. Anyway, I'll see you Friday on this video, but I'll see you Friday and we can carry on. Morning, welcome back. 4 days has passed. Last bit you saw just now was from Monday and today's Friday. It's the bank holiday weekend. Today I am going to get the back of the car up on axle stands, get the wheels off, and then going to stick all 4 wheels in the back of the 500X. As you can see there, as I mentioned earlier, bought some axle stands from Amazon. Get all 4 wheels in and try and get them some part warns on them. I've been trying to contact the bloke at the tyre place all week, and the phone number is saying calls can't be accepted from your location. I've done it on the mobile, I've done it on the landline, I've done it from work, and getting the same thing. So I'm hoping that doesn't mean he's closed. So I'm just going to sling him in the back and go down there, and hopefully by the end of today we'll have this car ready for its MOT. MOT is booked next Thursday. That was the most, I'm off Wednesday and Thursday next week, and that was the first time I could get it. Obviously I didn't want a chance getting it booked for today, because just in case I couldn't get the tyres done. But as far as I know, I'll do all my checks afterwards just to make sure everything's working. As far as I know it is, but I will double check everything. I've not even taken this for a spin. It's not even insured actually. I need to get it insured. I still haven't got trade insurance because I've got 2 separate policies going on at the same time. I don't really want to get trade insurance until those policies have run out. They run out at different times, but when one's run out, then I'll probably cancel that policy and then take that out of the trade insurance, which will be much better. So I'll have to swap over one of the cars to this one temporarily just to get it MOT'd next week. But obviously I need to take it out for a spin really, because it hasn't been driven since it was crashed, so I need to make sure it's all right. So yeah, I'll do that, and if I need to cancel the MOT, I will. But yeah, anyway, see you when I get back from the tyre place, and hopefully we'll get some new wheels on it. New wheels on it, some new shoes on it. See you in a bit. The car is now levitating as if by magic. Axle stands all the way around. Let me just show you these. So, as you can see there, cracking goes all the way around the tyre. Possibly just about legal, possibly just. It's a bit bald in the middle there. All these are bald. I mean, these grooves are alright. There's a good 3mm there, but yeah, that would definitely come up as an advisory at the very least. And on this one, pretty much the same really, all the way around, cracking, and again, you know, bald just here, but legal in the middle. Definitely due for renewal. As I say, those cracks would come up as advisories without a doubt. I don't think it'd fail the MOT for that, but definitely come up for an advisory, if nothing else. But I think the other bits in the tyre would probably come up as a failure anyway. Well overdue for replacement. They are Goodyears, so I reckon they're probably the original tyres as they're on the backs. The front ones are far worse, so they're not Goodyear ones, I don't think. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but maybe they are actually. Yeah, maybe they are. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, well overdue. Anyway, let's get down to the tyre shop, see if we can get these sorted, come back and get them back on. Right, we're back, and here we have 4 almost new tyres. We have some, across the axles we've got matching tyres. For the front I've got a matching pair of Michelins, and for the back we've got a matching pair of budget tyres, runway ones. Never heard of them, but yeah, they're budget ones. More tread on those actually than there are on the Michelins, but yeah, 40 quid each, can't go wrong. So it's half the price basically. The cheapest budget tyre were about 75 quid each, so you do the maths. It's a lot cheaper, isn't it? If it was my own car I'd put new tyres on it, but it's not, so it's not all about the profit. And I know some of you have berated me for getting budget tyres. Some of you, I think, that have berated me have been tyre fitters, so I can sort of understand why you would say that, because you probably don't want to encourage people to get part-worn tyres, which I get that. But I know on the last one someone spotted the fact that one of them was a wrong tyre, which it was, but you would never have known, but it was well spotted by you. But these are all the same. I've checked them, they are right. So they're a little bit dirty, and the wheels, where I clean the wheels, are not fantastic on one of them. I think that was the offside one, which is that one. So while they're off the cart, I'm going to give them another going over with the jet wash and the chemicals and what have you, see if we can get them a bit better. So yeah, and then we'll get them on the cart, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on. Right, that's it. All new tyres on. And what I have to show you, I have moved the car back and forward again, so it's not quite as good as it was before. But if you notice the angle of that 500, and then if we come to the back and you notice the angle of that 500, and then if we come around this side, then we notice the angle of that 500, and then we come here and we notice the angle of that 500. They're all lined up straight, so they're all facing the right way. So I just wanted to do that for the OCD amongst you, because I know there are a few of you out there. So that's it. As far as I know now, it's legal, road legal, apart from the fact it hasn't got MOT. MOT passable, I should say. So I think I need to check all the lights and everything, which I'm sure will all work because there's nothing up on the dash, but I just want to double check. And then I think what we're going to have to start doing is addressing the scratches, because it's all obviously dry and that inside now. Obviously it still needs a clean inside. I've ordered some mats, they're probably going to come tomorrow, I think. Yeah, I've just got to give it a final clean on the inside. Seats, there's a couple of little bits on the seats that need going over again. It's those light areas. But I just need to give all the plastics. I thought I did that actually, maybe I didn't. Can't remember, but it needs going over again anyway, whatever. And same goes in the back, and the dash and all that just all needs a good clean. Steering wheel's a bit manky as well, just needs a good clean. That's it. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to film that, but I'm going to have a little go at this. Now I think this one, I'm going to have a go at this one and see if it'll polish out, because you can't feel it. The one at the back you can feel, but this one you can't. You can see it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I've shown you it before, but let's show you it again. It was all the way along there to there. And then we got the one on the back. That one you can feel. So that won't polish out. I will polish it and see what it does, but that's obviously going to need some intervention. But I'm hoping, with a bit of luck, that'll just polish out and I won't need any paint. We're going to give that a go now. So let's set you up. Let's quickly do that. I'm not going to have this video for much longer. We'll have one more video after this one. But for now, I think that will probably do. Sorry, not for now. Once I've done that, that'll probably do on this video. And what we'll do is we'll come back next week on the next video and let you know on MOT day and let you know whether it's passed the MOT or not. And then we can finish off. Still needs some adjustment on that door the other side, and also we've got to figure out why the electric window's not working. It's not going to fail the MOT because of that, but we need to figure out why it's not working. Hopefully it's something simple. One thing I did want to show you, actually, remember I told you earlier on in this video about how I got all the gunk off the windscreen? I forgot there was some gunk on the mirror as well, so I'm just going to show you how good that stuff is. So bear with while I just set the camera up and I'll show you how good it is. Quickly, just to show you this, so as you can see, glue, I mean the stuff on the window and on the door was much worse because that was actually physically the brown of the parcel tape. But all we do, give it a bit of a spray. I left it about 30 seconds before, so I'm just going to leave it a few seconds, spray a little bit more on, and then, yes, it needed a bit longer, but it's still coming off. Just needs a little bit, because I'm not letting it soak, it's just need a little bit longer. Another little bit there. And there you go, it's all gone. How good is that? How good is that? I used it on the paintwork, it's safe to use on the paintwork. Great stuff. Just a bit of blue roll, and it's good as new. Clean, so it's this stuff. Let me just zoom out and show you again. I did show it to you before, but I know there were millions of these things around and I've used umpteen myself, but I don't think I've ever used one that's quite as good as this. I've got it on Amazon, I think. G-Technique W7 tar and glue remover. I did use this on some tar spots that were on one of the previous cars, and it was really good on that as well. Better than the Autoglim stuff that I've used in the past. Anyway, that's that. Let's get back on and see if we can get this scratch out. Okay. So we are going to use the cordless polisher. This doesn't spray very well. Might have to use a different head on this thing because it seems to... Oh God, it's not spraying at all. It could be that it's done, the chemical's done something to it maybe. Don't know. For God's sake. Get rid of that head. Don't know what that was off of. Don't know if it came with it or... I'm sure we've got another one somewhere. Probably got an elbow grease one we can use. Right, let's try not to knock it over. Just wipe it instead. Right. Okay, so what we're going to use with this, I think we bought this, why do I keep saying we? I bought this Sonex. This is meant to be good. So I'm going to try this on the red polisher, which I need to clean. Let's give it a clean first before we go any further. Oh, dust. Whoa, look at that. I'm glad I just wiped that over. It's now it's now covered in dust. Never mind, don't matter. It's only sand. It's only polishing dust. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. So let's put a few bits on. I have only used this once so far, but it's meant to be good stuff. It's quite thin, this one, so I'm going to try this first. If this don't work, we'll try one of the other ones. Okay, don't need too much, don't think. Okay, well I'm just going to spread it across the wing to start with. I'm going to try it on there. Fingers crossed. Right, are we recording and are we zoomed in so you can see it enough? I think we are. Yes, right, let's do it. Let's try it. I'll put it down low to start with, just to spread it. And then we'll come back up high. Ready? Here we go. Right, let's go on high. Right, I think we need something a little bit more aggressive because I can still see it. It's gone a lot. I sort of spotted one higher up as well, so I've done that one. Actually, you know what? It's gone quite a lot, but I think we just need something a little bit more aggressive than that. So you can still see it, but you certainly can't feel it. So I'm going to use something. What shall I use? Let's have a look. I'm going to use a heavy cut. Actually, I haven't got any heavy cut left. That's why I bought that one. That's right, because I ran out of the heavy cut. I've got some G360, which people do rave on about. I'm going to try this medium one first. See how this goes. Obviously, I don't want to go mad because I don't want to end up taking the clear coat off. That would be rather a disaster. This is quite thick, this one. So I'm not going to clean off the old stuff. What I'm just going to do is put this over the top. You're all probably screaming at me saying, no, don't do it like that. But that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm an amateur and I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm learning. Actually, let's whack a bit on there as well. Right, slow speed to start with. I'd much rather do this than have to paint it. When I say paint it, I mean touch it in and then rub it down and polish it that way. Let's speed it up. Yeah, I thought as much. The battery's running out on that and it just died on me. So it's not going as fast as it should do, but it's still not come out completely. But you know what? You can barely see it. So I'm not going to be painting that because it is literally, I don't know about the wing, about the door, but on the wing you can, if you sort of move around in the light, you can sort of just about see it. But yeah, I'm leaving that. I'm not painting that. I'm going to go over this bit here on the top a bit more. What I'm going to do is, because this is the Ryobi 1 Plus, it uses the same battery as my drill. Now I'm standing here, you cannot see that scratch at all, even moving around. It's gone. Brilliant. Yeah, you can't really even see it, to be honest, on here. You can if you get down here. I don't know if you can see it. I've changed battery. I've just taken the battery off the drill. Yeah, that's completely disappeared. That is amazing. Love it. Right, let's give this a go. I think we need a little bit more product. Sound like a hairdresser, don't I? Do you like a little bit more product? Don't know why I said it in that silly voice. Come on, come out. I hate these things where you have they're so thick, they get stuck. Don't need much. So yeah, this is the Menzerner one. This is the one that was recommended to me by Grant at what was Salvage Flippers, which then turned into Grant Smart Repair. I just noticed you can, no you can't actually, when you're standing up you can't. I'm just going to go over that little bit as well. Right, let's do it. Yeah, it's pretty much gone. Yeah, unless you really look for it, you can't see it, even at eye level. But if we go up, if we stand up, that will have disappeared. Yeah, it's gone. Can't see it at all. Absolute, completely gone. Based on that, I am going to have a go at that one on the back as well, because if I can avoid painting any of them, I will. Let me just go to the back. So this one, I think, is you can actually feel it, but it might help. We'll give it a go. The one around here, something's hit this, isn't it? I mean, these might actually sort of feel them, just about. That's obviously going to have to be touched in, not a problem. But these might polish out. I'm going to give those a go in a minute, actually. Probably the whole car could do with a good going over, but I'm not going to all that effort, to be fair. But that looks $1 million now. Well, maybe $900,000. It's not perfect, but as I say, I'm moving around in the light, and I don't know if you can see it at all in the camera, but as I'm moving around, you cannot see it at all. It's gone. Excellent. Love it when a plan comes together. Right, that didn't work really. It improved it a little bit there, but you can still feel it, and it didn't make a blind bit of difference, to be honest. I didn't think it would, but I thought it was worth a try. The one round here, it has worked. It's not perfect. Again, you can still see it, and I might go over it again, but that's not worthy of painting. Obviously, I'll touch those little bits in, but those, yeah, I might have another go. But they are, you can't see, you can barely see them. I mean, as you walk around it, you can, especially with this colour, like having black, not as bad as black, but you can always see little bits. So it probably is worth me going over the entire car, even if it's only just with that medium cut and just a light going over. Maybe I will, but yeah, I'm well pleased with the way that's come out. That's really good. But yeah, that's it for now, I think. Yeah, that's the end of this this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Probably only be one more video on this. Still got to sort out that window, that electric window. Hopefully that'll be a simple fix. I'll come back next week when we're on MOT day and let you know how we got on with that. But as always, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. And until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.